present your presentation in court, right? This kind of follows the outline, right? And we'll go through kind of each question with some context behind it, and I'll show you examples that we've used for when we get to these topics. So usually the format of our gang expert testimony presentation usually does the first stage is just general questions in order to get the judge convinced to allow you to speak as an expert. The second portion, once you are now qualified to speak as an expert, is we'll do a presentation of general gang characteristics, right? What is a gang? Then the third portion is going to be into our more of our direct evidence of the defendant and his gang, right? Showing the pictures and the videos, the graffiti that the gang member may have or his group has. So it's kind of broken down into those three things. So this part of the class starts to venture into that second portion. Just basic things that you need to be able to educate the jury or the judge on as you kind of build up for the presentation of the defendant's gang evidence, right? And so for when I do this presentation in court, this question is usually the hardest because as you're there on the stand, a lot of this you got to say from memory, right? You can't keep looking down and reading off a notepad, right? Because you're supposed to be an expert. You're supposed to appear as if you have all this stored in a memory. So this is usually the first question after the judge says, yes, I'll allow you to speak as an expert. The prosecutor say, okay, detective, can you tell me what is a criminal street gang? And the way I gear my answer is based on our state statute, right? I know the elements in our state statute, so I'll basically regurgitate an answer that kind of fits every one of those, right? So our state statute wants 5 or more, but I'll say, hey, you can sometimes have 3 or more. They use weapons, right? They'll commit crimes together. They'll come up with a name. Sometimes a very key word to use is sometimes, most times. Be very cautious about using words that's definite all the time type of context, because they're hybrid gangs, because they change so much. Try to stay away from that, really pigeonholing yourself into always. Gangs will always, right? Prosecutors say, hey, how do you come across all this culture, the gang culture, what's going on or during your investigations, right? And so I try to, from memory, try to remember as many of these things as I can, right? I comb through social media posts every day, photos, videos they post, examine tattoos, document, stay in touch with probation, parole, try to pay attention to the clothing the groups are wearing, other parts of our agency, such as patrol, even our cadets. We have cadets that deal with our juvenile arrests and processing. They'll come across stuff, right? Juvenile detention facility, definitely. Comb through phone records, anything you can think of that you know through your career where you've gotten gang information and evidence, throw it in this answer, right? Again, some of these things, when you're on the stand, you're not going to remember all of it. Just do the best you can. If you can come up with